Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for the third place playoff game between Fiji and Ireland. The winner of this contest will receive bronze in the Perth Sevens. The loser, they still get themselves fourth. But of course, they would have loved to be able to get that victory. Looking through at the starting lineups for these two sides. First of all, for the Irish, it is Zach Ward, Mark Roach, Terry Kennedy, who has been a dangerous man ever since he made his way back onto the Sevens circuit. Sean Cribben, Dylan O'Grady, Connor O'Sullivan, and Jack Kelly to close out the Irish. Starting lineup for the Fijians: Josefa Talatholo, Filippo Pucciaro, Riri Ropati, so actually getting a little bit of starting time here for the Fijians. Ponipati Loganamasi, who's been one of the standouts throughout the Perth Sevens, Josesi Batitaringa, Waisia Natungu, and then also Joshua Vakarabeli to close out this Fijian team. A man who has recently made his way back into the squad, has really had a good impact. We have got the Lol King in the chat, SF Fiji baby as well. And of course the Fijians, up until that game of the semi-finals where they were defeated by the hosts Australia, they were undefeated throughout their group stage and quarterfinal fixtures, beating South Africa, France, New Zealand and Samoa. I said it from the get-go. They have got the toughest journey to try and get far in this competition, but they do have a chance at third. This is actually a rematch of the last leg in Cape Town, third place game. We did see the Fijians get themselves the victory in that one over the Irish, so they want to repeat here. And whether or not that happens, we are soon to find out. But HBF Park still looks like it is absolutely rocking. People loving the Sevens environment. It's always a party from start to finish. And now Fiji want to finish on a high. The Irish, the underrated side, some would call them, throughout the Sevens circuit, beating some of the top sides around. They actually beat Australia in their group stage, but it is going to be the Australians who are in the final with the opportunity of taking out the Perth Sevens. It just shows that, yes, winning games are important, but it's also about which games you win. Of course, playoff rugby is a whole different beast. But now, the crowd singing along to some songs just before this match gets underway. Ireland will want to start this one quickly, although they have gone with a little bit more of a makeshift side, I would say, than the Fijians, who have still gone with relatively strong, with Riri Ropati, the young man, getting the opportunity for his first Sevens tournament. I believe head-to-head wise, Fiji have beaten Ireland many times in the past, but Ireland still are known for causing upsets. Like I said, the last time that these two sides played off in a bronze final, it was actually the Fijians who were able to pick up the victory, 14 points to 7. I can see a game similar in terms of the amount of points that are scored here, although it is in the evening. HBF Park, beautiful conditions. It's going to be hot. So it's one of those ones that you might as well go out there and just put absolutely everything into it. That was one of the closer games that Fiji have had with Ireland. The last 5 meetings, every time, have gone the way of the Flying Fijians. But like I mentioned, those starting lineups: Zach Ward, Mark Roach, Terry Kennedy, Sean Cribben, Dylan O'Grady, Connor O'Sullivan and Jack Kelly. The starting lineup there for the Irish. Harry McNulty unavailable for this match. Fiji have an unavailable player of their own, that being Sevu Mo Whenothangi, but they will bring a couple of very handy players off the bench, Kiminelli Rasaku being one, and another player that they do have at their disposal will be Taureo Vailawa, just to add a bit more oomph coming off the bench for the Fijians. Logan Amasi, I mentioned earlier on, he's been one of the standouts for me throughout this competition for the Fijians. They've looked very impressive. Ireland, they have lost 2 games, one to the USA where they were defeated 26 points to 7, and then in their quarterfinal they were defeated 5 points to 24. In fact, no, sorry, that was the semi-final, my apologies, rather than the quarters. The Fijians, they were undefeated up until that game up against Australia in the semis when they were defeated 22 points to the 7. Let's go Fiji, my boy. Our commentary game with Australia, I was not happy, but I'm really happy with them this weekend, so it all right. Says Brandon, and of course it is a rematch of the final that we saw between Australia and Argentina in Cape Town. When those two sides went head-to-head, Australia were heavily defeated, and it was actually 45 points to 12. They cannot afford to have that as the score on home soil, that is for sure. But it will be Mark Roach and the Irish to kick this one off. We are now ready to go for the bronze final. Do let me know your score predictions in the comments and the chat as well. Mark Roach now. Oh, he had a bit of a fumble with the ball before even kicking it off. It's not really what you want when you're just about to get into a tough match up against the Fijians, but nicely claimed by Ngatongu. Loganamasi fires it across to Bukayaro with the Fijians deep inside of their own 22. Little knock on there from Reri Ropate. The knock on advantage. Ooh. Okay, I think it was from an offside position for the Irish, which was why they weren't able to play on, because they did look like they were in a very good attacking position. Fiji 20 to the 19. Fiji win in overtime, says Brandon. And there's, oh, okay, so going for an overtime win for the Fijians. It could happen. I mean, Fiji have gone to extra time before already in this competition. It was up against France, in which they did win 29 points to 24. And now, Filippo Bukayaro. This ball in for the Fijians. Nicely fed in. Possession in favour of Fiji, just outside of their 22. Passed out wide to Loganamasi. Now just about driven in a touch, but the Fijians have found the offload, but it's gone straight to Ireland. A good bit of pace shown by O'Grady. Fiji over the ball, and they managed to win the turnover penalty. Loganamasi takes the quick tap now, going across Ngatongu. One more pass on the outside to Batitaringa. Vakunarabili gets it away to Talofolo. Does the boot in behind. Grubbering the ball forward. Picks it up but can't put it down. And Ireland now with the counter-attacking chance. They'll have to go 100 metres. And it looks like Terry Kennedy has said, I would love the challenge. And Fiji by 19, says Johan. Back across to the right-hand side, but good early attack from Fiji. Didn't lead to points on the board, though, and that can be so crucial in playoff rugby. To the left-hand side again, Connor O'Sullivan. Thought he saw a bit of a gap, but he's taken down early from Rapati and Talatholo Kennedy. Firing this one off to the right-hand side. No Grady, just staying on his feet till Loganamasi gets that other leg tied up and takes him down. Terry Kennedy. Ready to step around this defensive line of Fiji, which is not very easy to do. They do normally stand very strong. Don't allow those gaps to form. Now off to the left-hand side again. Terry Kennedy goes across with the skip pass out wide. Here comes Connor O'Sullivan. Does seem like he could be a future superstar for the Irish. Unable to go through this Fijian defence. 3 minutes down. Very even between these two sides. Not many missed tackles, which has meant not much attack being created for either side off the line breaks. Now it is passed out wide though. O'Grady again has been lined up and dropped by Vakunarabili. Piercing the line. Terry Kennedy stopped in his tracks. Go Fiji, go. Says Avakesh, but the knock-on coming from the Irish now. Loganamasi, counter-attacking chance here for Fiji. Tolotholo has Batitaringa with him and he's bound the pass away. Josesi Batitaringa to score the first try of the contest for the Fijians. And we'll put that one down. Brilliant offload from Josefa Talafolo. Exactly what they needed there. And good news, I got a new dog after Sam. I'm ready to move on, but I miss Sam. My dad have find new job. So good on him. Says Brandon. So hopefully you do like your new job. Oh, sorry, your new dog, and your dad likes his new job. That seems like a tongue twister, doesn't it? Let's go Fiji. Says Brandon, but Josefa Talafolo with the ball on the inside of Batitaringa. And just avoids the fingertip there of Terry Kennedy. Inches from being able to get the steal, but Batitaringa does score the try. Put it down. And go Fiji, says Chon there. Kick has gone over, so they will make the score now 7-0 in favour of Fiji. A good start to this bronze medal final. Both sides had their little moments on attack, but Fiji being the more clinical side, being able to turn an attacking option into points. Ngatongu kicking off long and high straight into the sun. makes it awkward, but the Irish have been able to take it very nicely. Now going off to this left-hand side. O'Sullivan. What about going for that skip pass? He's broken the line twice there. Some brilliant running from O'Sullivan. Finds O'Kennedy or Terry Kennedy on his outside, who has got a huge amount of pace. He passes it over the top. One more offload needed from Grady, but he goes himself and he's blown the try opportunity for the Irish. Now they have still got the ball available here, Ireland, but it's the mistake from the youngster Grady. Hi Hamish, I'm back, says Jet Lee's Irish by the 24-22. Says Jet Lee's there for the prediction. Could happen. I think it is going to be an extremely close game between these two sides, but I look forward to getting back into the show in Rugby Sevens and 15s. I try to do Super Rugby this year. There's Brandon, but Terry Kennedy, he got the lobby pass over the top to Mason Grady. Oh, sorry, Dylan O'Grady, I should say. Just got a bit selfish. Like they've just said any pass would have led to the try. That's why I love Test cricket. Windies from big underdogs to winning the Test in Australia. Says Cody here, massive win for the West Indies. And we commentated right to the final whistle. We have actually got the video that's gone up on the channel. Beautiful run from Mark Roach. Short ball to Terry Kennedy. Scores it between the posts. Fist bumps towards the crowd. I think he had... Was that like a 9-year-old pulling the finger at Terry Kennedy? Wearing an All Blacks jersey? He's not happy about it. All Terry Kennedy has to say is at least we've made it further than the Kiwis did in this tournament. Then straight between the posts. Celebrating it big time. Oh, we're not going to get to see that kid again. See if he did rip the fingers at him. He was celebrating it big time, Terry Kennedy. The kick has gone over, now making the score 7-all between these two sides. It's going to be interesting. 20 seconds remaining. So I just saw it and was shocked yesterday. I said it was a cake in the park for the Aussies, but they choked badly. Says Cody, yeah, unfortunately just making those errors that they could not afford. That one's going to be kicked out on the full. Now going back to the halfway line. Scrum is called. The whistle has been sounded for halftime, but a scrum feed now for the Fijians. A lot of chat going on at the moment for the Irish and the Fijians. Front rows really talking to each other, trying to talk to the ref as well. But yeah, India versus England at the moment, Coding. Last I saw, 3 down for India. How are they sitting now? Are they in a similar position? Although your voice is still very good, what happened? I think water has helped a little bit more. And Irish boys, let's go, says Helen Howe. A loose ball. Josefa Talatholo manages to regather for the Fijians now. It's going to be knocked on. Played on the ground. Penalty goes the way of the Irish. They will take the quick tap. Here comes Connor O'Sullivan again. Looking for that next passing threat. West Indies was awesome, says Anoy. Yeah, digging deep. It was an incredible game to be able to call. And jobs well done, West Indies. Good win, says Blues Nate. And there as well now going back across to the left-hand side. Big shot. Coming in on Dietrich Roach, or sorry, that's Mark Roach, who is now broken through. Zach Ward looking for their next pass, has got it away to Mason O'Grady, or sorry, Connor O'Sullivan. No, Dylan O'Grady. I knew there was an O in there somewhere, but I couldn't find it. Now Mark Roach, 10 metres out. India is 95 for 3, requiring another 136. It's India from here, but England can make a match of it. Yeah, see, they've let them off the hook a little bit, haven't they? Quick tap taken by Fiji. They put it into touch, and that is now going to be half-time in this game. Went 2 minutes extra time, but it's going to be sitting now 7-all between these two teams. But yeah, for India, I saw that they were 2 down for 45, and then they were 3 down for about 60. And I thought, oh, okay, that's the chance that the English need. But currently, just that partnership's growing between Rahul. I mean, Rahul's such a great batsman. He's one of my favourites. At the moment, West Indians win. How did it happen? I shocked. And also another super sticker donation there from Blues Nate. Thank you very much, mate. Greatly appreciated. 7 minutes remain in the second half. It is just about to get underway. So I believe we will start to see some changes being made to Ria Tamani. I wouldn't be surprised if the Fijians put him onto the field as soon as possible. Any interesting game here. Anyone could win, says Blues Nate. So, coding, I'll ask you a question as well. Seeing as they've got another, it's like 8 minutes or so. In fact, no, sorry, there's currently in the tea break. Will India get those 130 runs tonight? And if not, how close do you think they will get by the end of the day? Because I feel like they'll try and push the pace a little bit to a certain extent. Like, I think that they'll still try and build this partnership. But Karl Rahul's the type of batsman that if he starts going for it, 130 runs in a session is not out of question. It's only sitting about that 4 runs and over or so. Why always get ad break at halftime? It's a shame, really, because I think it's down to the fact that it's being shown on Sky Sport. Because normally for us, like outside of Sky Sport, you actually get to enjoy the stats and everything that pop up on the screen. But sadly, we don't get that now. And also, Brandon stuffed up. Smith stuffed up at the end and took the single. Should have retained the strike case. We got bowled out the next ball, says Annoy. And what are your predictions for the final, says Nadro. I'm predicting Argentina to win. I'll be honest, they just look so good at the moment on the Sevens circuit, and I would find it very surprising if they aren't able to get the job done in the next matchup against Australia. Definitely because they beat them 45-12 in the last final, although Australia, I think, have made quite a few bits of progress since that game. I think they will try to chase this today, and if they can't, and in that they can falter as well, it kind of adds that little bit of extra excitement into it. And I think what we will do is, if it is still relatively close for tomorrow, like if they lose 3 or 4 more wickets tonight, still need 50 runs or something tomorrow, we'll actually cover the 5th day on the channel, if that is something you guys want to see. Nice run from Jack Kelly. 40 seconds gone in the second half, and already Ireland find themselves in a good attacking position just outside of the Fijian 22. Another penalty comes this time. It is for offside against Fiji. Is England playing 5 tests in India or just 3? Says Annoy. I think it's just 3. It might actually only be 2. Oh no, 3rd test. Hang on. 5 test matches they have got. And no thanks, you need to rest. No, but that's tomorrow. Like, by then I would have had some sleep, of course. And it would only be about an hour-long live stream as well, more than likely. Now going off to the right-hand side. Chance here for Terry Kennedy. Starts stepping through. He's got the ball away to Roach. Inside ball back to Kennedy. And Ireland have scored the try between the sticks. Hugo Lennox receives the assist there. A nice more test coming up, says Hanoi. Yeah, more test matches, also more ODIs around the corner for the West Indies and Australia. That will be now a series with a bit more oomph in there. Come on, Fiji, don't let us down again, says Simran, although they have just conceded another try, so they are down 14 points to 7. Although we've said it time and time again, the Fijians know how to fight back from being at a deficit. Now that kick has gone over. 5 minutes remaining. And Australia have now lost back-to-back tests at the Gabba after India historic chase down. And now, the Gabba, they won't want to play there anymore because that's 2 massive losses. Like, that's the first time they've lost to the West Indies since 1997 in Australia. Nice claim from Shane Mullins. Now O'Sullivan goes across to the left-hand side. Nice running from Jack Kelly. But he is taken down again by the Fijian defence. Ireland on attack, looking to find the next gap here. Kennedy. Dan gets it off to Lennox. Look for the miracle offload. That's a bit too high on Shane Mullins. It's trying to spin out of the challenge. And there was hardly any crowd there too at the gap. Well, I think most of the crowd assumed that Australia were going to win it easily, so they didn't bother buying tickets, plus it was supposed to rain. But the rain didn't pour, and Australia did not make it easy. So I feel like the atmosphere at that ground near those final moments would have been absolutely electric. We are halfway through the second 7 minutes of this contest. Another scrum feed, this time in favour of the Irish. And bring that fighting spirit, boys. Channel Fiji, says Simran. Our ball has been fed in for the Irish, going off to this left-hand side. Terry Kennedy inside ball to Jordan Conroy. Through he goes, and he's driving his legs, finds the offload. And it's another try here for the Irish. They will take more than likely the 14-point lead. Bro, the atmosphere for any game is unreal. Says Colton, but Gavin Mullen gets over the try line. And Australia has won too much World Test Championship. And now they're time to lose something. And I feel like it's massively beneficial for Test match cricket, as much as it will hurt Australia for a little bit. Like, I'm sure they will get over it pretty quickly, but for West Indies cricket, that is massive. And it just shows that the young players from the West Indies have got potential of, keeping up with the big sides. Conroy's pretty quick. Says annoying up the Irish. Says Jet Lee's there as well. But the Irish now, with that misconversion, sit 12 points ahead of the Fijians. You wonder whether or not that game up against Australia took the wind out of Fiji's sails and perhaps made them lose focus. Nice take from Josefa Talafolo, but then ends up throwing the ball forward. And Ireland back in position again. They should have played 3 tests versus the Windies, as have nothing for them the next month, says Annoy. Yeah, it's really dumb. Any series that is 2 matches, I just despise, because the amount of series lately that we've had that have been a 1-1 draw, India versus South Africa in South Africa, West Indies versus Australia in Australia, you just don't get closure on who won the series. And we just left the beat the rush, or to beat the rush. But wow, it was an unreal event. Says Colton. It was the same bowler whose leg was shattered by Stark, who took 7 wickets on debut. Yep, Shamar Joseph. Oh, sorry, not on debut, but his second test match. These leprechauns have been impressive, says Nick. And that's it, boys. No looking back now. Fiji will come back. Penalty goes the way of Ireland. And now they can choose to use up a bit more time on the clock. They do not have to chase this game. The Fijians. I think Ireland just put the ball into the scrum on top of the backs of his players. I don't know how they got themselves the penalty. I think it was for an early push from Fiji that caused the ball to come out like that. But Ireland have kicked that one towards the corner. They would have done the maths, working out how many seconds get used up by them kicking for the corner and going for the line out. So far, it is 40 seconds that they have managed to use up. Referee now has put the time off. The sun looks pretty harsh in Perth at the moment. 19 points to 7. And Ireland in possession again. Only 60 seconds remaining for Fiji to be able to get themselves their comeback. Offload it again. Roach goes to the left-hand side. The try scorer, Mullen, not able to go through, but he does take contact, and that uses up more time on the clock for the Fijian defence. Now O'Sullivan goes on the outside. Nice pass. We're having a duck under that tackle attempt. 20 metres out. And where is the discipline, boys? There is a new advantage now for the Fijians, for the Irish. Passed out wide. Mullen will get another one. And come on, there's Simran. So now the score is getting extremely one-sided. Fiji may have beaten them in Cape Town, but Ireland are certainly sitting on top here. 3 left clovers taking it over, says Nick. A nice sell of a dummy from Hugo Lennox. Then his pass out wide to Mullen, who had already got himself a try earlier on. He actually overcommitted to his dive, landed on his head. Luckily didn't end up with any sort of injury from it. But making a bit of a mistake. And Sui says Jet Lee's, but that is going to be the final whistle, ladies and gentlemen. The Irish are victorious over Fiji. 24 points to 7. I'm so disappointed right now. Come on, Fiji, bring it back, boys. That is now the full-time whistle. Ireland getting themselves the victory over the Flying Fijians. So the drought continues for the Fijians. They have not lost so many legs of the Sevens since 2005. Do you think Hooper will make the Oz Olympic team? I think so. I think he's coming into the team next leg. So be sure. Keep an eye out for him. I need to drown my sorrows, says Simran. And also Buller. And Fiji points wrong, Irish right. And poor Fiji says annoyed. So the next live stream that we have got for the Sevens, ladies and gentlemen, will be taking place at, will be 10:50. So be sure to keep an eye out for that. Argentina versus Australia, going to be an epic game. So yeah, be sure to tune in for that one. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And I will see you all for the next